Have you ever wondered if a so-called superfood might not actually be that super for you? Let's take avocados, for example. They're smooth, creamy, packed with nutrients, and yet they might be working against your health without you realizing it, especially if you're over 60. Now, I get it. Avocados are a go-to for so many health-conscious people. On toast, in a salad, blended into a smoothie, heck. Some folks eat them straight with a spoon. And don't get me wrong, they can be great for you. But what most people don't know is that there are 6 common avocado mistakes that can sneak up on your health goals or, worse, interfere with your digestion, medications, or even trigger hidden allergies. That's exactly what we're unpacking today here on Vital 365, your go-to for practical, science-backed wellness tips designed for aging wisely and living fully. And if you're someone who regularly eats avocado, let me know in the comments how you like to enjoy them. I'm curious. All right, let's jump into the first big mistake-one that's barely ever talked about. It has to do with a natural toxin inside the avocado itself. It's called persin. You won't find it on nutrition labels or ingredient lists, but it's there in the leaves, bark, skin, seed, and even in the flesh we eat. The amount in ripe avocado flesh is tiny, and for most people, it's harmless. But if you're eating avocados daily or you've got liver issues, it's worth paying attention. Persin is the plant's natural defense system, kind of like a built-in antifungal. But in our bodies, especially as we age, this compound can become more problematic. Our liver slows down. Our ability to process certain plant chemicals changes, and small issues can slowly turn into bigger ones. One toxicology study showed avocado extract caused DNA damage in white blood cells in a lab setting. That doesn't mean your guacamole is attacking your cells, but it's a reminder that even healthy foods come with compounds that need to be respected. It gets more serious when you look at how persin affects animals. In birds, it can cause heart failure. In larger mammals like horses and goats, it's been linked to swelling, heart issues, and even death. Humans are more resilient, but not immune. If you've been eating avocados every day and start noticing unexplained fatigue, digestive changes, or weird skin issues, it might be worth taking a break. Some nutritionists now suggest a 5-on, 2-off routine. That's 5 days with avocado, 2 days off. Give your body time to process and recover. Bottom line, even healthy foods need balance, and avocados are no exception. Coming up next, the second mistake-one that's sneaking extra weight onto the scales for a lot of people, even though they think they're eating clean. Let's talk about something that catches a lot of health-conscious folks off guard: calories. Avocados are loaded with heart-healthy fats, fiber, and important nutrients, but they're also calorie bombs in disguise. One large avocado has around 320 calories. That's more than a full bowl of pasta or 2 slices of pizza. And yet, we often treat them like they're free food. We spread them on toast, toss them into salads, blend them into smoothies, maybe even eat a whole one as a snack. And hey, it's good fat, right? That's what we all tell ourselves. And it is true. The monounsaturated fat in avocados is great for your heart, but your body still counts every calorie, whether it's from cookies or from clean green superfoods. And if you're in your 60s or beyond, your metabolism has slowed. Every bite matters more than it used to. There's actual research to back this up. One large study followed people who ate an avocado a day for 6 months. Their weight didn't go up, but only because they were carefully balancing their meals. They weren't just adding avocado to everything, they were replacing other fats, like mayo or cheese, with it. So, what's the smart serving size? Most nutrition experts recommend about 1 oda of a medium avocado per serving, around 50 grams or roughly 80 to 100 calories. That small adjustment can make a big difference. And here's something practical. Try tracking your avocado intake for just 1 week. You might be surprised how often it shows up. If you're eating half or a whole avocado every day and not adjusting the rest of your diet, it could explain why your weight loss has stalled, or your clothes feel tight or even if everything else on your plate looks healthy. Again, avocados aren't the bad guy, but no food, even a superfood, gets a free pass if you're overdoing it. Now, let's move to mistake number 3, one that can be much more dangerous, especially if you've ever had an allergic reaction to latex. This isn't talked about nearly enough, but it could save someone's life. Here's something most people never associate with avocados, but for some, it can be one of the most dangerous hidden risks: latex fruit syndrome. If you've ever had a reaction to latex-like rubber gloves, balloons, or even bandages, this part is especially important, because avocados share very similar proteins with natural latex. And for people with latex sensitivity, that can confuse the immune system and trigger an unexpected reaction. Doctors call this latex fruit syndrome, and it's surprisingly common. Up to 50% of people with latex allergies also react to avocados. It can start subtly. Maybe your lips tingle after eating avocado, or your throat feels a little scratchy. But for others, it can become serious fast. Full body hives, trouble breathing, dizziness, or in rare cases, anaphylaxis, a life-threatening reaction that needs immediate medical care. And the scary part? Most people have no idea that their body is reacting to avocado because of an old latex sensitivity. It often goes misdiagnosed or completely missed. This is especially important if you've ever worked in healthcare, food service, cleaning, or gardening jobs that often involve exposure to latex gloves or rubber products. Even more interesting, avocados aren't the only fruit with this connection. Bananas, kiwis, and chestnuts can trigger similar reactions in people with latex sensitivity. So if any of those give you trouble, avocado might be worth reconsidering too. Not everyone is at risk, of course, but the key takeaway is to listen to your body. If you've ever felt strange after eating avocado, don't just brush it off. Talk to your doctor. A simple allergy test could give you peace of mind. All right, now let's shift gears and look at a risk that's got nothing to do with allergies or nutrients, but everything to do with how we handle and store our avocados. And trust me, this one's a food safety issue that catches a lot of people by surprise. See, avocados grow in warm, humid climates, which is great for the fruit, but also great for bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria. These bacteria cling to the rough outer skin end. They don't just sit on the surface. They can hide deep in little crevices, protected even from a quick rinse. So what happens when you slice into an unwashed avocado? Your knife picks up that bacteria and carries it straight into the flesh, the part you're about to eat, and you won't even notice. Spoiled or contaminated avocados usually look and taste completely normal. To make matters worse, once an avocado is cut, its creamy, moist texture becomes the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, especially if it's left out at room temperature. That's why food safety experts warn about the danger zone temperatures between 40 degrees F and 140 degrees F, where bacteria can double every 20 minutes. So, here's what you should do. Always wash your avocados under cold running water for at least 30 seconds before cutting, even if you don't eat the skin. Use a clean knife and cutting board, ideally ones that haven't touched raw meat or unwashed produce. Refrigerate sliced avocado immediately in an airtight container. And never leave cut avocado out at room temperature for more than 1 hour. Whole avocados can ripen on your counter, but once they're soft, toss them in the fridge and try to use them within 5 to 7 days. And if you've ever scraped off the brown part and thought, it's fine underneath, just be careful. That discoloration could be a sign of spoilage you can't see or smell. These small food safety habits matter more as we get older, when our immune systems aren't quite as strong. Next up, we'll talk about something even more serious. Avocados can interfere with common medications many people over 60 rely on daily. Now here's where things get even more serious, especially if you're on daily medications like many people over 60 are. Believe it or not, avocados can interfere with your prescriptions. And most doctors won't bring it up unless you ask. Let's start with a big one: blood thinners. If you're on medications like warfarin, Coumadin, or even newer ones like Xarelto or Eliquis, you probably know they rely on maintaining stable levels of vitamin K in your diet. Too much, and the medication won't work. Too little, and your blood could become dangerously thin. Guess what? Avocados contain moderate amounts of vitamin K. Not as much as leafy greens, but enough to matter. So if you suddenly start eating avocado every day, you stop eating it after having it regularly, you can throw off your medication balance. And that can raise your risk of clots or internal bleeding. Then there's potassium. 1 cup of avocado has about 975 milligrams of it more than a banana. For most people, that's great for heart health. But if you're taking ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or potassium-sparing diuretics, too much potassium can lead to hyperkalemia condition where potassium builds up in the blood. That can cause irregular heartbeat, muscle weakness, or even cardiac arrest in severe cases. Even people managing diabetes need to take caution. The fiber in avocados can slow down absorption of some oral diabetes meds, making them less effective. And on the flip side, avocado fats can enhance insulin sensitivity, which is normally great but could cause unexpected drops in blood sugar if you're also taking insulin or sulfonylureas. None of this means you have to give up avocado, but it does mean you should have a quick conversation with your doctor. Let them know how often you eat it, so they can adjust your dosage if needed. And finally, let's not forget something that often goes overlooked: your own individual reaction. Even if avocados are rich in healthy fats and fiber, they're not a one-size-fits-all food. For some older adults, they can trigger digestion issues like bloating, cramps, or gas, especially if your gut isn't used to 13 grams of fiber in one sitting. And it's not just the fiber. Avocados also contain sorbitol, sugar alcohol, that can cause trouble for people with IBS or SIBO. Even a few spoonfuls can trigger symptoms that last for hours. Then there's histamine intolerance, which can become more common with age. Overripe avocados in particular can trigger symptoms like itchiness, rashes, flushing, or headaches. You might also have something called oral allergy syndrome, where your body mistakes avocado proteins for pollen. That can cause a tingling mouth or scratchy throat, annoying, but easy to miss unless you know what's happening. And don't forget, genetics matter too. Some people simply don't process fats or plant compounds like person efficiently. Add in age-related enzyme decline, and even a healthy food can become hard for your body to handle. So what should you do? Simple. Pay attention. Keep a little food journal for a week. Track how you feel after eating avocado. If you notice patterns, fatigue, skin changes, digestion issue, it might be your body asking for a break. Now, let's bring it all together. Avocados can still be one of the healthiest foods on your plate if you eat them in a way that fits your body, your meds, and your lifestyle. So remember the 6 hidden mistakes: overlooking the natural toxin person, eating too much, and forgetting the calorie load, ignoring hidden allergies like latex fruit syndrome, mishandling food safety and storage, skipping the conversation about medication interactions, missing how your own body reacts to them. When you enjoy avocado in moderation, prepared safely, and with awareness of your personal health, you can still reap the benefits: better heart health, nutrient absorption, and even brain and eye support. If you're new to avocados, start slow. If you're eating them daily, maybe take a short break or trim your portion. And now I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced strange symptoms after eating avocado? Or do you have a favorite recipe that works well for your health? Drop a comment below your story. Could help someone else. And if this was helpful, hit that subscribe button and join us here at Vital 365, where we're aging wisely, eating smart, and staying empowered every single day. More science-backed videos are on the way. I'll see you in the next one.